everybody. I'm Wa.
And I'm Chris, and welcome to Docu Sweeties.
We're two longtime friends who discuss the riveting and sometimes trashy world of reality TV and docuseries.
Yes, but through our own lens, honey, which can be creamy, or like kind of like milky, is it? Or like uh, eggy, or just sort of like egg whitey with like the yolk kind of like mucusy at the end of the day, hopefully mildly sweet. Hi. Yay. Hi. Welcome to Docu Sweeties.
Okay, so we're talking about 90 Day Fiancé season 10, episode 9, To Have or To Hold. Okay, so is eggnog raw?
No, listen, I never ever drink eggnog. I think it's weird, and
Oh,
I'm gonna put my money on the fact that eggnog, I think, is milk and raw egg together with like some cinnamon stuff or whatever. Like, remember how like in the 90s it'd be like, oh, bodybuilders just put like 14 raw eggs into a blender and drink it in the morning, like, and we'd be like, ew. But I think we also every holiday season drink raw eggs, right, Wa?
okay, but you don't. So like tell
Oh
me
yeah.
more about how you never had this. Okay, I'm going to say that I don't know how I first had it.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to say that I might have maybe some of my non-black friends
Uh-huh.
like said you never had that, and maybe I asked my mother about it and she was like, I guess non-black people have this. I don't know if black people, I don't know. I'm not okay. Historically also known as milk punch, which I never heard of that,
Mm,
or an egg milk punch
makes sense.
when alcoholic beverages are added, is a rich, chilled, sweetened, dairy based beverage. It is traditionally made with milk, cream, sugar, egg yolks,
Mm-hmm.
and whipped egg whites,
Uh-huh.
and distilled spirits such as brandy, rum,
Oh,
or bourbon.
okay. So you're drinking it because of the fact that you're also drinking an alcoholic beverage. You were like, oh, what's an alcoholic beverage that's festive? Is that what happened to you?
Yeah, I've had it a few times in my life prior to without, and now that I'm allowed to have it, I just had it with. And this is white rum, and it doesn't give me a headache the way a brown liquor normally does. I tried to get vodka, but the Trader Joe's did not have any vodka.
No Tito's?
Um, yeah, no, they didn't have any when I went.
It's crazy. I love hot toddies, and I also love like Bailey's, like an Irish, like coffee or something like that. Like it's a hot.
Oh, I do have that, but the Bailey's gives me a headache.
Oh, um, we're talking about 90 Day Fiance today, season 10, episode 9. It's called To Have and To Hold.
I said that.
Did you?
Yes.
Oh, I was not aware. I had just gone right into that eggnog. I forgot anything else happened but the eggnog. For the past, I feel like we also felt like we talked about it for like 14 minutes.
Also, milk
Um,
punch. It's called milk punch by some people.
Milk punch. Yeah, I'm more of an apple cider, again, like hot toddy, or even, apple cider doesn't have to be alcoholic, but it could be person, or a spiced rum. But again, just the egg thing just isn't for me. However, I'll tell you what is for me: 90 Day Fiance, and this was an okay episode. I'll tell you what wasn't exciting for me. The people we didn't have were sorely missed. No Clayton, no Jasmine, and yeah, I mean, I was just like, literally, where are they? And we got introduced to a new couple. Well, we only got like a little bit of him, and I guess them, and I thought we were going to get more. And so let's dive in to this episode. We start with Justin, Igor, and Nikki, and it's been back and forth with them, and their major point of contention is the fact that she really, really wants to express her a longing, her deep, lustful sexual desire for Igor slash Justin, and for her to have him give that back to her. But he's been a little like whatever, cold to her, and she doesn't know why, and she's been pushing for that. However, now they're going to go on a sexy getaway. Now, I'll tell you this. All of these sexy getaways that happen in the middle of the season between couples, they are always fake. It's too much of a convenient plot device to have a change of scenery. and to have like an action and adventure. Like I don't trust people to make enough of those decisions for their planning to do that. They wouldn't do that. They would just no one like they would just be like, I'm going to stay there and see if it works. Like no one would be like, you know what? When I get there, let's take another mini vacation while I'm there. But that happens so many times. Like you see it as a device so many times. You know the producers are like, well, it's the episode classic episode 910. Take them somewhere else. What?
Like, who's paying for that? Is it the American? The American is rich, and we know Gino's not rich. We know Nikki. I mean, she has a little money in the bank, so maybe she could pay for it. But we know like Jenny and Sumit did it. Like so many people have done it, and I'm just like, are these people rich? Because I could never. I'm not rich. I could never. I barely got there. Okay, and I got there on credit that I'm gonna
Like,
pay back for the whole year.
is it the wine tasting? Is it the winery being like, oh, good, free advertising? Like, you know how much this Moldovan winery gets on TV? That much? Not that
Not
much, you
all.
know?
And and that Indian man running it, that what
Ooh.
that was that an Indian man? I thought that was an Indian man running that winery.
That, you know, that I didn't see, you know, like his passport, you know, or his like parents, you know, like birth stuff. So I'm not quite sure, but you know, it could have been, you know, I don't know.
Oh, jeez.
What? I didn't see it, Wah. I missed
Okay.
that part.
Okay. Also,
Hmm. Hmm.
also he's
Hmm.
like, Moldova is a very conservative country, and we wouldn't normally see a couple like that. We wouldn't see a young man with a much older woman. And I didn't know that's what he was gonna say. I thought he had clocked her. But then when he called her a much older woman, I was like, wow, she's watching this playback, and she just died. Nikki just fell over and died when he called her a much older woman, because as much as she has been trying to hide it, and that neck girl, she has not. It's like that is the thing that gives her away. I mean, there's so many other things that give her away for sure. But that neck is the thing I think that she's gonna go towards next. But anyways, they get there and he's like, oh, TMI, but it's okay. I mean, he's like a sassy sommelier, right?
Yeah, he for some reason, it feels like always wants to teach a class to very hungry students of wine knowledge, and he wants them to wait on every bated breath of his nuanced, you know, notes, and for them not to get drunk and to spit everything out, like just really roll it on the tongue and just use that spit glass and spit it out. Except that he does a winery in Moldova and just gets a bunch of people that just always wants to like sit there and get drunk as fuck. And Justin and Nikki just also keep making sexual joke after sexual joke. I like this rosé. It's sweet and pink, like my pun. He's like, that's a lot of information.
I thought you were gonna say it. Thank God you didn't. I couldn't
I did
handle
say
it in
it.
this moment. I couldn't
I mean,
handle it.
I
I
think we all
couldn't
know I did.
I
I
could-
think that if you there's not a person. I mean, there's not a person on God's green earth didn't know what I just said.
couldn't handle it in that moment. If you had, don't
Not
think
no matter what language, you know what I just said.
in your pupusa. Um,
Pupuseria.
yeah. So she makes it awkward for all of us, and he's like, if she's on her best behavior, I might be able to have sex with her. Now. Now, I don't have these issues. And if I were with a man who didn't give me my sex when I wanted it, I would have to leave him. I would have to leave him.
Yeah. I have.
No,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. I would have to leave him. You have to give me my sex when I want it. Okay. I'm Danielle Jabali. And I need Muhammad to give me my sex. Okay. Now, so that's number one. She keeps saying all these things. Now, when he does give her the sex, even though it is at 3 a.m., she's like, I don't want it then. But boob, when you want it, he doesn't. So what is it like? You guys are on different schedules. You guys have different clocks. So if he's unable to, the unfortunate situation is that you can't have it when he's not ready, because if he's not ready, there is no flagpole in which to sit up. Okay. But if you're not ready, there is lube in which to make it happen. So unfortunately, you have to just like you just have to open one eye and give your consent. And if you don't give your
Is
consent,
that what you
then
call it? Your one eye? Just kidding.
and give your consent. If you don't do that, then you don't have to. But I just was like, girl, either you want the sex or you don't. So if it's at 3 a.m., unfortunately, you have to say yes if that's what you want.
I know what you're saying, but I mean personally,
You agree?
I I listen, she can decide whenever she wants to like give it up. I personally I only get hornier as the night goes on. So at 3 I mean if I thought I was horny at 11 p.m. at 3 a.m. I'm like oh, I mean I'm basically like a Wolverine, you know? Like if I get steered, like yeah, you can take me. I don't
Are
you
you,
can
are
I
you
mean yeah.
talking about the actual like a Wolverine, the actual animal on the island of like Tasmania, or are you talking about like Jack Human, Jack, what's his name? Hugh Jackman. Like, are you talking about the Marvel character?
Jack Human. Wow, that is so interesting. Like, can people call him like a Jack Human? That was very interesting. Like, I guess I meant Jack Human or Jack Human.
Hugh
I
Jackman. Are you talking about
yeah,
Hugh
yeah.
Jackman, the
No,
Wolverine?
it's not that
Oh,
anymore. Yeah,
okay,
like a female version of that person. I guess just like
okay.
yeah, yeah, I'm like in the morning, like nothing's better than morning blah bitty blue, like
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited for that. Like it just feels so different. It feels so different in the middle of the night, like when things are happening. And
Mm-hmm.
so
It does.
I think that she did. I think she must have enjoyed it more than she lets on. But she also wants to complain, A, and she also B, I think has some sort of fantasy, like instead of like, we have a lot of the, let's just say, fantasy women of the white wedding, of the virginal white wedding princess
White wedding.
fantasy
Mm-hmm.
that we get a lot of. She almost has the fantasy of like 90s lovemaking sensual thing where like she wants them to take a bath together that's like a sunken bathtub with like red rose petals on the ground, and then they put oil on each other, and then they make love, and then they like lay into their arms, and then they make love again, and it's like 6 hours long, and then there's like maybe some tantra stuff, and like they try a couple of Karma Sutra positions. Like so that's what she I feel like wants or whatever, and he isn't like that. Like he's just like a pump and dump. So for him, he's like, great, I pumped and dumped at 3 a.m. and it was longer than it usually is.
Oh,
Hmm.
you're right. That was like a 90s fantasy of like I could go all night. Every time I hear some of those I could go all night songs, I'm like, absolutely not. Go all night. No. Give me a solid 45 minutes and then we sleep. And then maybe we could wake up and then you give me another 30 minutes and then we go back to sleep. Absolutely not.
I
Who
know.
has the thigh muscles for that? We're not Meg the Stallion. We don't have knees of steel.
Like that's why like Shekinah and Sarp are like they make it seem like every night they like bone for like 7 hours. And if they do, I purely think it's because they're wearing their Apple watches and they want to see their calorie counts afterward. Like, I don't think they do it for like the sex, even though like he's like, oh, I made her come 14 billion times today, like that's just not comfortable. It's just not comfortable to be like, it's just like, after a while, you like, I mean, you gotta like take a break. Like no one wants to dance without taking a little seat drink, like, towel yourself off, like refresh yourself.
Well, she doesn't have to do anything. Yeah, he just has to like.
You saw his dance moves.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like she doesn't.
Oh.
He could just be like flicking. He could just be touching her between me down there. You know what I mean? Like lifting the hood and seeing what's happening. You know what I mean? It's up to him and his like leg muscles.
So anyway, they're
So
making some weird bread at one point, or like some pasta. I'm not quite sure. And they talk about like whether he's just like, oh, I love when women cook. Like like that's the thing. Like Moldovan women cook for their men, and then like all we think about is like they've made food for us, and now we want to have sex with them, right?
What a dumb thing he said.
I don't know.
What a dumbass thing he said. You
Yeah.
don't enjoy takeout? She ordered food for me. Now I want to have sex with her.
I know.
That doesn't turn him on? That would turn me on.
What kind of meat was it at the breakfast?
He
And
said
how
it was
come he didn't
mouse.
yeah, but then he
It
said
wasn't.
beef.
It wasn't.
Do you think it was just pate and it was just like processed differently than she'd understand?
Yeah, like remember when Libby's family said it was terrible? Like it's just different meats. Remember when like the family said something super uncouth and stupid? So it's just like the way that they process their meats is a little different.
Yeah.
than probably what we're used to seeing. And so she was asking like what type and whatever. Which is a valid question to ask. But I loved how she was pretending to be hungover and like she completely wasn't. The amount of time that she spent putting on all her makeup, you weren't hungover, babes.
Right.
No,
Because
you.
she was like, oh, I'm so tired.
Yeah, she literally put on a full face, and that wasn't even her like that. She had contacts in. Ma'am, you don't have a headache, and you were sitting there like,
How do you know she had contacts in?
I saw them. Her eyes are brown.
Babe, she got surgery.
But the eyes that she puts on a contact and it makes them even more piercing.
Really?
Yeah. Her I've seen her like the like did I delete that picture? There's a picture where this one with no makeup on. Do you see that? Is that not brown?
Oh. I don't understand. Maybe you're right. I'm confused. Yeah. Okay.
Maybe
You're
it's
right.
just from a weird angle, but let's look at this one. Or they're dark. Maybe they're blue, but they're dark.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I'm confused. You're right.
So she puts some kind of contact on to make them look like that, like I hate the way I speak. She put some sort of contact on to make them look very, very light.
Well, I don't know. I will tell you at the end of the day.
Mildly sweet.
Okay, you want a drunk today? That was one of my favorite parts. Okay, you want a drunk today? I mean, yes, the answer is yes, Igor. All day I want a
Yes.
drunk today. And like he was so jovial this episode. Like he
Yeah.
loves this wine. He was waiting for this wine. Now, of course, they get in a fight because at this like whatever, like
Bed
breakfast or
and
whatever,
breakfast. Yeah. Bed and
like
breakfast or whatever.
platter of different little bites. There's like a little tomato, chopped little tomato. I was like, that's cute. And then, of course, the different processed meats she couldn't identify. She's like, well, when's the last time you boned? And he's trying to say that in Moldova, they have friends with benefits. She's like, well, do you do that? He's like, well, of course I do that. Well, she's like, when's the last time we did that? He's like, well, let's just say that, I've been in the clear ever since that ring's been on there. And she's like, ring's been on there. But like, what about when we like Mexico or whatever? Like, so anyway, she like starts to talk about the timeline, and when she applied for the fiance visa was before, I guess, the ring was on her finger, meaning that she applied for the fiance visa and he still was boning friends, and he seemed like this was not a big deal. And she's mad because it means that he's boning other people and therefore maybe is more attracted to others, or that's where his sex is going, or B, that he just lied to her in the first place. And then C, sometimes she would call him, and I think that she would feel like he couldn't wait to either get off the phone or that he was like quick to anger because he was in fact in the middle of something like boning one of his friends with benefits in Moldova,
Mhm.
his Moldova with benefit ladies. Like, what did you think, Wa?
Yeah, she did get very upset, but I thought again it was just her trying to be Darcy Silva. I really think that she's trying to solidify herself as one of the new
Yes.
Darcy and Stacey. She's trying to take the franchise to take her to another level. Now she's already super popular with her 1.2 million on Instagram. Does she need the franchise? No. Is the franchise only going to make her more popular? Yes.
Yes.
But she's trying to be like Jasmine and Gino. She's really trying to be a heavy hitter in the 90 Day Fiancé franchise, because the way that she's just mad at him at this point, I'm like, girl, ma'am, madam, you're a seasoned woman. Just break up with him and go back to the US. I don't want them on this season. This is before the 90 days drama, and I don't want to see it.
Yeah, no, I understand. I agree with you. I wish that this show would make us more famous and would further our, like reach, like her. I also loved how you were like, you equated her to wanting fame like Jasmine, and then you parentheses gave of Jasmine and Gino as if there were other Jasmines for me to be like, which Jasmine? Anyway, of course, she's like a one name, she's Cher.
No, there's that
Anyway,
other Jasmine who didn't want fame, who was with that one black man. Remember Jasmine from like Holland and her twin sister who came here on the lottery?
oh my God, it's been a minute, but yes. Okay, do you want to move on?
Move on. Yes.
Rob the Knob and Sophie.
Oh my god. So Sophie's wearing this like basic bitch but like baddie bitch outfit, and they're walking down the street and she's caking, and he's like, "You ready to lose?" And she's like, "No, I'm not ready to lose, Rob. I'm going to win. I win at everything." And he's like, "Nah, you don't win." And so they're having this really juvenile ass conversation as they walk to bowling, and she's like, "Bowling's really popular in England because in the UK because but that's not really nice. So we have a lot of inside games, and so I imagine they do a lot of axe throwing and like escape rooms and all these other inside game stuff.
Karaoke rooms, honey. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all Top Golf. It's
It's
like
a bunch of stuff.
indoor Top Golf. What other? I don't know.
I don't know what other. I'll tell you this
Movies.
winter. Oh, they love the
Love
movies. They
love
love
a
it.
movie.
They love it. They love it. And so they go to play golf, and I think they were going with other couples, but
Ball.
no. Yeah, they're both going to ball. I think they're going with other couples, but they're not. They're going with his fucking friends, dude. It's so fucking weird. So they get there, and she's twinning, or he's twinning with his fucking friends. And we find out that he's told his boys that she's mad at him. And so when it's his turn to play, that fucking friend Tyree or Tyrell or Kyrie or whatever his name is,
Torai.
Tarai, he's like, "So Sophie, like, what's up with the checking of the phone, man?" And she's like, Rob didn't tell you that he basically online cheated again, and that he liked him pictures and stuff. And he's like, "Oh, that's not the whole story." "Oh, word." And so then Rob is like, "I didn't tell you that." They're like, "Man, I'm thinking one thing." And he's like, "How am I supposed to know that? How am I supposed to know that?" So Rob gets super defensive and then feels like he's never going to be forgiven. And he's so upset. And I'm just like, Rob, no, dude. You're not going to be forgiven in 5 minutes because you fucked up. So just take responsibility and stop crying like a little whamsy pamsy baby.
He basically got caught because what he did is tell his friends like, "Yo, yo, yo, she's so mad," and like it was basically nothing, it was over Snapchat. And then that's why they like confronted Sophie, like, "Why would you get mad over nothing over Snapchat?" She's like, "It wasn't nothing over Snapchat. Haven't you had? He's on before. He showed his dick to people." And they were like, "Wait, yo, you didn't say that you were showing your dick to people." And then Rob was like, "I never give you all the information. Why do I have to give you all the details?" And it's like, then don't share anything then, because you didn't give them any of the details. And at one point, they called this energy big Leo energy, which I feel like is just big narcissist energy. And I just put this on Leos. I'm not a Leo, honey. I mean, I'm technically a Pisces, but I am Leo. Wait, I'm Pisces, Virgo ascendant, and then I think I have a Leo moon or something like that. So I'm a little bit Leo. But anyway, having said that, maybe a little bit narcissist. Anyway, oh, didn't expect her to laugh that much, honey. Ooh.
No, no, but
Oh. Oh.
yeah. So they call
Oh,
him
yeah,
out on
yeah.
that. He gets like really pouty about it. It's so stupid.
Yeah, yeah. So okay, wow. Okay.
No, you're not
Any
narcissist.
How come none of his friends ever like have a girlfriend to show up with? A
I don't
date?
understand. I don't understand either. It just feels like really weird that it's just like all bros. Like he doesn't have any girlfriends. He's one of those guys who probably can't have any girlfriends because he wants to have sex with every woman he meets. And I don't trust those men.
Yeah,
I've decided that I can't be friends with guys who don't have girlfriends, who don't have any women that they can be friends with. Because they don't, to me, that means you don't respect women.
I don't know. I'm not gonna say any hard lines back and forth, but I will say it's interesting. Torai was like the one that was like, "Women are crazy. Women can't be trusted," and it's like, yeah, you really won't. Like, you can't even trust women to like hang out with you 1 second, especially even like to have your company as you like hang out with like your friend and like a date. It's just so funny. But they then decide. Okay, so then she has a dumb conversation with one of her friends, Maya, who we'll never see again. I mean, and I don't understand why we have to have these like dumb conversations, basically to be like, "Are you gonna tell him that you're bi or whatever?" She has to tell him. So, which we've been like hanging over our heads that she's gonna tell him that she's bi the entire time. So then they wake up and they're gonna go whatever bring shopping. For this part is crazy. She sits down. She's like, "Oh, I'm so excited. What is my budget?" And she's like, 5,000. And he's like, 5,000. I'm like, what are you? 5,000? You have no bathroom. You
Okay,
think
wait a minute.
What in what world would this man have had what?
No, Chris.
What?
No, finish your thought. Finish your thought.
No, no one thought that he would have a budget of 5,000.
Chris.
What?
She asks him what the budget, and he
Hmm.
just says, like, don't worry about it.
You're right.
And that's the part that pisses me off. It
Because
pisses
she's
me
right to,
off
yes.
because she's right to fucking ask.
Because there's no because it's a small budget.
Because it's a small fucking budget. I don't get this. It's the same thing when men ask you, where do you want to go on the date? And you say someplace that you want to go. And they're like, ooh, that's expensive. Then you fucking pick because you're fucking spending the money. So if you broke can't afford anywhere, then you need to tell me where you want to go within your budget. If we're going to go to Del Taco, then you need to choose Del Taco because I'm not choosing Del Taco.
Mm-hmm.
I'm choosing Ocean Air. Okay.
Well, I'm choosing Taco Bell, but I mean, at some point, I will also choose, Mastros. Anyway,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's just like so annoying that he's like, it's just like the same thing with fucking what's his face? What's that fucking Nico?
I know
He's like,
Nicola.
Misho, pick whatever you want me. Okay, I want this. Oh, that's too expensive. Okay, dick, then tell me what the fuck the budget is. Don't do that. And then she says 5K, which is not a lot for a ring. It's not a lot. It's like not a lot. Okay, it's not a lot. It's a median amount for someone who doesn't have a lot. It may feel like a lot. He's like 5K. What did he expect her to say? How much are you planning on spending? Where are you going? Kay's jeweler?
He's
Like,
really old. That's the other thing. Like the thing about it is exactly you're right, because at some point you have to know kind of how much things are. And I'm not saying that he should know how much a ring is if he's never bought one before,
yes,
but
you
if he's
should.
thinking about
If you're
but if
thinking
he's
about buying one, that's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
if you're exactly, but if you're thinking about buying one because you are in a place where that's where you are in life, then you should have a semblance of what that means, what that physically means, what the ring means, whatever thing. And it's like if you don't even know how much a ring is and like where you're going to take her, like where are you going to take this person then? Because if you think you're going to get rings for $60, then you literally should Google where Claire's is. Then yes, take her to the nearest Claire's, or like little like Santee Alley of like LA that you can like go and get, because you're right, as what for $60 you can't even take her to a Robbins Brothers or K Jewelers. Like in his mind, what is he thinking that a ring is going to be?
Even at the swap meets where you get those chains and shit. Okay, even where Black people and Mexican people go to get the fucking jewelry with the chains and the Guadalupe fucking Maria and fucking all that shit, all the bamboo earrings, at least 2 pair, all of that shit. Where we go to the swap meet, you know how much that shit costs? It's like $200 for a chain, something for whatever. If you buy a bunch of shit, you could get it for under 1,000. Like even that shit, you know how much that shit costs. The rings cost X amount. So even if you've gone into those establishments to purchase jewelry, you know how much that shit. You know you're not walking out for an engagement ring with some diamonds in it, and you buying it for both of y'all. You know you're spending at least $800, and that's not even a lot of money. So you going, my nigga? Where are you going? You weird ass. Where the fuck is y'all going? To the Slauson? Where are you going? So then just say like, okay, I'm about to spend 1,000. You could get, and he's like, we're just getting some bands. Okay. She says she want rose gold. Where y'all going? I just have questions.
Rose gold. Well, then she's like, she can't even. This, by the way, is a moot point. This conversation does not even need to happen, because then she's like, "What? Before we leave, I have to tell you something. I just got to tell you that she runs away." And he's like, "I'm sorry, what?" And she's like, "Stop filming," and like or whatever. Like she's like, she runs out like in the middle of filming, and he's like, "Should I come out there?" I'm like confused. Should I come out there? And she's like, "No," and he's like, "Okay,
I just
should
got
I?"
anxiety.
Yes.
I just got anxiety. I I just got anxiety.
So then he's like, "Okay, well, I'll tell you what also feels weird when someone has to tell you something and then suddenly runs away because they have such anxiety to tell you." She's like, "No, it's nothing bad. It's not bad. It's not harmful. You won't even maybe you won't even care about it. Who knows? It is I bet." He's like, "May, May." It's like, what? Did you just what? No, come a little closer so you can hear me. Come a little closer. Here it is. It's what I wanted to tell you, but I'm so anxious. Don't worry, it's not bad. It's not bad. Here it is. Here it is.
I'm not disloyal. I'm bisexual.
He blinks.
Oh my god.
He's like, because, for Rob being 45 living in LA, you'd think that he would have like lived on God's green earth to be a little more maybe liberal than he is, but like sometimes Rob like is 72 and from, like Searcy, Arkansas sometimes
Yeah.
cuz like he's so weird that like with his old like Jay-Z Beyonce reference of like what his grandiose things of what he has in his head. I'm not surprised that he like takes this weird because I think that he obviously is a narcissist, or as his friends call him, he has big Leo energy, and I can see that kind of person being perhaps upset if someone is sharing love, no matter if this person is a woman and he's a guy, and he should think, oh, how hot it is to have a hot girlfriend that likes other girls, like, which I think is maybe like what people think that he should maybe also do, but like he also I think would be like, I don't want her to like anyone else but me.
But it's like, I don't even.
Mm.
To me, I a little bit felt like I get why she felt like she had to tell him because they're married or whatever, going to get married. But also, I feel like it doesn't even matter. She's gonna be committed to him, so what's the point in telling him?
I think
Unless
because she
she's
wants
gonna
to
want to.
explore,
Yeah,
right?
unless she wants to explore someday, they want to open up the marriage. But yeah. So he's like, I don't even know what to say with that information. And then we're left, I don't know if we're going to be sharped, but we're left with, maybe he's going to be upset. Who knows?
No, he was like, well, that means like what? I'm not gonna, if you get to fuck around, I'm gonna fuck around. She's like, you'll never be able to fuck around. He's like, well, you'll never be able to fuck around. Something like that. That's what they showed.
Oh gosh. Let's
Okay,
move on.
should we go to the new guy?
Sure. Sam. Oh no.
Nope, that's
Nope.
Clayton. Nope, that's
Did we have
Devin.
pictures? We have pictures of them?
Oh,
No.
you know what?
No, we don't. Okay, let's move on
Okay.
to Ashley and Manuel.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Okay. So in this, it looks like, I don't know. I thought Ashley might have lost some weight. Looks like she lost a little weight in this one.
In the confessional, yeah, I agree.
No, when she's like going to when they go to get the garbage food or whatever. Anyways, so we start off where the husband, we left off last episode where the husband of the friend went out to go get Manuel. And I don't know if he quite finds him, but somehow Manuel gets home. I don't know if producers take him home or he walks there for true by himself. I don't know if it's for true, but he gets there. And so she gets home and she's like, Manuel, tú no corriendo a la ciudad a solo. Like, basically, you can't run around the streets of the city by yourself. And he's like, well, I did, bitch. I got here. So he's watching soccer and he's pissed because he's like, listen, our private life is our private life. It's not for you and your stupid friends, which is so true. And she's like, listen, my life is changing and I'm having a hard time, and you can't expect me to do X, Y, and Z. And so he's like, listen, I don't want to talk about this. I want to watch my soccer. And she's frustrated. He's frustrated.
I completely agree. I will say
I
this:
can,
it's like she has to talk about the things she has to talk about, but those friends gave me energy, and the energy was that they would do whatever it takes to break up anyone.
Yeah.
Those friends had those friends have no one should be in a healthy, happy relationship. And I'm not saying that Manuel and Ashley are, and I definitely am not saying that. But the to have your nose in such people's business, and also to like not appreciate boundaries when someone doesn't want to talk to you and who is visiting from a different country, and you are like pressing for conversation. I mean, I don't know. That doesn't seem right. And I don't feel like their relationship, is a testimony to like how things should work.
Mm-hmm. Calling him a man child. I
Mm.
said, okay, Stella, who got their groove back? All right. So, um, then the next day she's like, the energy is bad, the vibes are off. Um,
Oh yeah, like this garbage plate place.
yeah, so she takes him to get a garbage plate, and then we find out that Manuel has had the shits ever since he got there, because we find out that he back home has been eating ceviche, which they refer to as like fish soup or something, and I was like, okay, that's a bad way of describing ceviche. Ceviche is more like a fish gazpacho, if anything. But so, anyways, talk about how he normally eats, like plantains or plantain and, uh, you know, like ceviche. And so he came to America and now like it's messing up his stomach or whatever. So they start talking about how they're going to have their wedding at a destination spot in West Palm Beach. And she's very excited. She talks about flights there and the packages. And she's like talking about going into the red for this because it's her wedding and she's willing to go into a little debt for something that's a big deal. And he's getting nervous because he's like, Ashley's spending all this money on this. And for a couple of months, we won't be able to give money to the family because of this. And she can't do that because I still owe my family monthly and I don't want her to pay money, this kind of money for this. And whenever we talk about it, we get into an argument because she feels like I'm trying to stop her from living her best life. And so they have that kind of talk, end up later on talking about it and by the Lake Ontario, and he's really happy to be there. What
Yeah.
do you think about that?
You know what? I thought it was a really honest conversation. Like, and I appreciate both point of views, which is basically it's her life, it's her money. She is acquiescing her life to have someone come in. This person is from such a different world than her, and these are two human beings. And he even like says that he knows it's weird for her, but it's like, yeah, like to see that amount of money, to know what that would give to his family, like how and he can't, how could he spend it, and how could he enjoy it, knowing that. And there's a big thing to, I know my spending of money that is very consumerism American, that I enjoy doing it. And that's how they've gotten me, right? I've been I have been forced fed a drug my life of buying things, and it makes me feel good. Right? I love doing it. Like I love spending money. I love spending money on myself. I love spending money on other people. I love spending money on experiences. I love spending money on having the best of experiences. I love spending money on things, on products. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like uh, uh, internet in real life. I mean, whatever it is, like, and if you are feeling worse, like, online shopping makes you feel better. Like, this is across the board. And so we know that life. And then to hear from someone, which is true, like knowing how much that could go to someone else, how do you enjoy spending it? And then if you're having an over the top wedding, how do you even sit in it knowing like, where that money could go? And I actually really love this conversation. I love them going to the lake, the freshwater lake. He loved it. Looks beautiful. um I'll tell you right now, it's just a funny juxtaposition of like taking Manuel to have a garbage plate, which by the way, again, is basic. This is what it is. Basis level potatoes or macaroni and cheese, or you pick, not macaroni and cheese, macaroni and salad. Macaroni and cheese would be only too good. And I would only pick fries. Anyway, macaroni and salad is disgusting. Macaroni and salad or fries. Then on top of that, a hamburger and a hot dog. And then on top of that, mustard, ketchup, and onions. That's what it is. Disgusting.
Gross.
Like There's something like by there's something in West Hollywood called Okie Dog or OK Dog, which is like this like weird tortilla with a hot dog and like a nacho cheese on it. Sounds disgusting, but it's yeah. I mean, this is not for me, not for me at all. But having said that, I really think that like Ashley and Manuel are really cute together. He says that he's marrying her for love, like, and I really believe it. Like, I think that they're, like playing up his like privacy and him being secretive. I don't think he is. I think it just really is cultural. And I think that they're making Ashley seem like out of her mind, crazy, but I think that she really does love him. Then she's like playing up something. It's like, I mean, I don't know. I think they're gonna succeed, is what I'm saying.
I think that she does love him for sure. And I think that he loves her to the capacity that he understands love to be. I don't know that he loves her to like our Western idea of that. And I don't know that he can give her everything that she wants, but he knocks that pee out, So that's all that matters to me.
The pupusi.
Mm-hmm. The pupuseria.
Do you want to talk about who you want to talk about, Devin?
Yeah, I couldn't watch it when he got to the family picnic. So I saw when they went around Cersei and saw her mural and then saw the racist statue. But I couldn't. And then when they introduced her to like her whole, how old is she? She's like 23 or 22, and he's like almost 10 years older than her, or he's in his late 20s. But all her siblings live in that house. Like she's the oldest of what, 4? There's a lot of people that live in that house. and a dog.
I don't quite understand her family dynamic at all. Wait, okay. So we drive to Cersei again. They flew to Korea. They flew from Korea is a long ass thing. And they sleep over in an airport hotel.
Yeah.
Then they drive there. It's 5 hours. They pass all the buildings. They're like, no more buildings. Just get, you're done for buildings now. Get the buildings out of your system.
That's
pass
crazy.
over the Mississippi River. It's huge.
5 hours to the nearest airport.
Mm-hmm.
Or the nearest international airport. That's crazy.
Yeah. So then they get there. So he's like, it's a really big house. And it's true. So is it that she has is it her mom and a stepdad and her dad and the stepmom? Is that what it is?
Oh, I didn't notice that. I just thought it
I
was
don't quite understand who all those people are.
I thought it was her mom, her dad, and then 4 siblings, because he said 6 people. And then for the party, it was like an aunt and someone else that came over. And then
who's the guy, the older man that looks like her dad? And then there's the woman that has a very interesting face, and an interesting voice.
I don't know. I couldn't.
Who's that person,
I couldn't watch it. I couldn't watch it because he calls her Piggy in front of all these white folks, and I just was like, I didn't know what was going to happen afterwards, so I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it.
And I didn't know what was going to
happen. I didn't watch it.
Happen afterward is what you said.
He said to her in town square, so this is the man that fought for the slaves to be slaves, and she said, mm-hmm. She brought this man to this town that still has a statue up. No, Chris.
I know I'm laughing.
No, there are folks right now still living in towns that got statues up who fought for slavery to still occur, and they are roaming this earth like that shit is right and normal. No, I don't trust it. I said, oh, I can't watch these people no more. They still live in this town talking about, oh, they still go for these traditions. This ain't tradition. This is racism. He said, I can't live here. And I said, boy, you better get out.
They're like, I'm going to teach you how to make fish. I'm like, I'm sure he knows how to make fish.
Absolutely.
I know. And then like, he's I'm going to teach you how to make fish Southern way. Well, you bread it and you fry it and then you eat it with bread and fried fries. And then what do you think of America? Well, Koreans think that y'all are fat, lazy fuckers that eat a bunch of fried, oily foods all the time. And then cut to one of their faces. I mean, one of them faces is bananas. That woman's a bananas looking woman. And she's just like, whoa!
And I'm going to watch it again. I'm going to watch it. But all this.
You don't have to.
Honestly, wait a minute. Then
it is so funny though. Wait, remember Art Alley? Just remember, I know. Every part of it's funny. Just know that at one point, yes, you're absolutely right. Of course, they have a place called Art Alley, and the art in the alley. It's just whoever like did a little painting a couple of years ago in the alley.
That shit is wild. It is wild to me that she brought this man here. Like, it's okay. It's not okay, girl. Take him to Memphis. Move him to what's that other big city? I keep forgetting it, and I'm gonna go there.
Nashville.
Nashville. I'm going. I should have bought my ticket on Thursday. I'm going to Nashville soon.
Yeah, well, then you'll remember it. It is a little LOL that he still brought up the like then after all that he's like, I call her Piggy. She's just a little fat, chubby piggy. Like, it is funny that after all of that and seeing the statue and just knowing where he is, he'll still in front of all these people call their prize-winning daughter Miss Piggy.
No, it's because he's so far removed from that, he doesn't even recognize how dangerous it is. It says he's so far removed from it. It'll be like me being an American going to North Korea, like, whoa, y'all really can't talk to each other? That's so weird. You know, just like American, just be going to places, just be doing whatever.
You're right.
Oh, can't spit bubblegum out on this thing? Oh, what's gonna happen? I'm American. You know?
Bubble gum out on this thing. That's
But you know, that guy who got caned somewhere. Remember what country did he go to when we were younger? That man who went to some
I know
country and spit.
it's not to the B, not Bahrain, but like Singapore, or was it like, or was
I
it?
think it was Singapore.
Doesn't that sound right?
He spit
Okay.
bubblegum out and he got caned. My dad was always like, good for him. Yeah,
Wow.
the audacity of an American to go someplace else and do something against the law and then think nothing could happen to him.
Oh, God bless. Should we talk about this Sam person?
Oh yeah, Sam. Something's
You skipped
happening right
him.
here. Right?
Oh, on him?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you, you know, something happens to some folks. You know, first
Drugs.
of all, wouldn't you know what a story. You know,
Yeah.
Sam sleeps in his car because he works, you know, a couple of jobs and he can't quite like get you know, a place that's like in between. So
Mm-hmm.
he got himself from a place of like having been addicted to painkillers
Mm-hmm.
off and on his like really really young youth, but
Yeah.
he's been sober, he said, pretty much for 10 years, but he's had a couple of relapses.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah, like he yeah, I don't know what damage has been done or whatever, but there's like, yeah, I don't, you know, he's weathered a storm, hasn't he,
Mm-hmm.
Law?
Yeah. 15 to 22. That's a lot of
All
years.
it took.
Yeah.
What? You said it's a
What?
lot of years? Would you say? I said it's all it took.
Yeah. He was on drugs from 15 to 22.
Yeah. Which is 7 years.
Yeah, that's all it took. What does that have to do with him being on
And
drugs?
I guess I'm wrong.
Okay. He'd been on drugs from 15 to 22. Somehow he got a hold of some painkillers, poor dear. And he was addicted to them. So I mean, he didn't tell us how that happened. He didn't tell us about his home life and what of that. But it's just such an unfortunate event. But he now just like is pushing through, and he says that Citra is not to be confused with La Citrus, but Citra got him through a lot of that because she's so understanding and patient. And all I can think to myself is because she has no skin in the game. She has this woman is from is it Java? She's from Malaysia. She has absolutely no skin in the game. Of course she's just giving you positivity because you don't affect her in any way.
She's not relying on you. You've never stolen from her. Your
Yeah.
addiction hasn't harmed her. You know, like your lifestyle, she doesn't know yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's easy for her to text you all day long. She's not living in your
Yeah.
car with you. You know, and
Yes.
I'm not saying that, you know, like yeah, this is 90 Day Fiancé. She's coming to you, babe. Where is she going to live, love? You know, like.
Yep.
So anyway, so yes, basically this almost feels a little Brandan in that someone who's very sad and doesn't have a lot going on and has had like a sad traumatic thing, like kind of
Yep.
like really gleaming on to a stable force that feels sort of like resurrectionary,
Yep.
that's what it
Yep.
feels like. But he says, yeah, that he likes her a lot, that he loves big big booties, and
And he
she
cannot
has,
lie.
yeah, she has that big booty head. And then like we see a bunch of like, pictures of her, and she does have like a very shapely butt. And he's like, I can't wait to like hit it. And we were like, oh, okay, all right, Sam, Jesus, all right. Now the thing that she loves about him, that she was like, I just saw him on that dating website. I just can't get over his baby face. He's in a baby face. And I was like, that's what it was. You like okay, gross. And we like see like her talking to her friends, like, oh, Americans, oh, they're all so tall, like Ryan Gosling. And I was like, I mean, it's all subjective, isn't it?
Yeah, I think no Ryan
It's
Gosling is
all
tall.
subjective, isn't it? Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and they all like to drink soda and alcohol. And I was like, well, yeah, that's true. Like, I like the idea of like what everyone else thinks. We're just a bunch of fat, lazy, like fast food eating, alcoholic, soda drinking, tall people. And I'll be honest, I'm all of those things. I'm
Mm,
tall. I'm too tall.
too tall.
I've already talked about Taco Bell once on this podcast.
Yeah.
You
Soda.
know,
You
I-
don't drink soda.
you're right.
Mhm. So
But alcohol.
debunked. But
Mm.
yeah, she is surprisingly Muslim. And I say surprisingly only because the pictures we saw of her, she was not wearing a hijab, so it wasn't evident to us visually in apparently in the beginning. But so he has to convert, and now let me tell you about him. He is atheist, but his father believes in aliens, and are just waiting for them to come and get him.
Okay, yes, yes, they would. This made me upset, and I'll tell you why. One thing though, why is she allowed to take such sexy pictures online if she's Muslim? Anyway, that's one thing. Second thing is go back to the dad. How come we met the dad and then we hear that he tells us that his dad is obsessed with aliens, but what we don't get is the dad telling us that. Like, I want the dad to sit in the confessionals, be like, the first time I met an alien was 1971. I was crossing, like, and then one came down in the middle of the night and probed me in the butt. You're just like, uh-huh. It's like you just gotta hear the whole thing and be like, and that was the first time, but it wasn't the last. You're just like, uh-huh. Just like I
Maybe
have to
he
strap up.
will
I He needs to.
once he gets to the U.S.
I mean, come on. Um, yeah, so basically, what do you think, Wall? Like, so yeah, her mom died, and then all her sisters are like deeps religious, and then her dad's like deeps religious or whatever, and like her sisters are wearing hijab. She's not.
She's just not. That's just not her calling of that modesty. It's a choice.
Okay. But she does want to live like with no alcohol and for him to convert. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to have to convert. I don't know how that's going to go. And we're all like, bad, because you don't seem to believe in it at all. Like you don't even want to do it. You're just being like, well, this is the way to do it to get my dream girl.
Mhm.
Um,
I mean, I'd convert.
but would you, okay. So, okay. Well, you would just convert to anything.
No, not
Oh, okay.
anything.
Okay. So what would you convert to?
I would convert to Islam.
Mm-hmm.
I would convert to Sikh.
Okay, so Islam. So how? So if you were like, you're gonna pray 5 times a day, you're no longer gonna drink any alcohol. You
Mhm.
are going to wear a hijab and never only show your face, and
Mhm.
you don't have to wear burqa, but you have to wear a hijab, and you have to wear obviously
M-
dress modestly.
Monthly. But yeah, and it would be depending. Like, so can I dress like shy? Can I dress like?
Yes.
Okay, then yes. But that would be negotiated. Like, I would talk about it.
Yeah, then yes. So yeah, you're like buy alcohol. I don't care at all.
Yeah. I'd be gone. That'd be cool.
Okay, what else? And
I
you're like,
wouldn't.
I'd be into fasting Ramadan. That's fine.
Yeah. I actually plan on doing Ramadan in 2024.
Great.
Yeah.
I don't
I
know
would
any
not
other.
I
Go
would
ahead.
not do Christianity because been there, done that. It's boring. Um,
So when you say convert, you wouldn't convert to Christianity?
no. Been there, done that. It's boring.
Okay, so let's just say again, you met the love of your life.
Yes, but also Islam, like literally in Islam, you men are supposed to take care of the woman, and a woman can divorce if a man is no longer doing that. In Christianity, that does not exist.
Okay, well, I
So
mean,
I, yeah.
these are your thoughts, and you can do whatever you want. Yeah,
Mhm.
I feel like
So it's laid in the foundation that he has to take care of me.
okay.
But Christianity, they don't. They don't have to take care of me. I have to do shit. I just supposed to honor him. Hell no, I'm not honoring you. What the fuck? Get out of my face.
Well, here's the thing: if you are listening and you are a very orthodox or a very very strongly devoutly religious Islamic man, and you want to marry Wa, I'll tell you right now, she's ready and willing and able. And
Uh-huh.
she knows nothing about it, but she'll learn, because she has watched enough
Oh
of
no,
this.
I don't know nothing about it.
You're right. Just she doesn't know. We both know that not enough to like. You'd have to do some research because we know what it's like for people on the show to do no research and just jump in. So I know as your friend that if I'm going to sell you to the highest bidder right now, I'm going to tell you
Wait,
that
wait.
she's
How
going to do
much are
some
you getting?
research.
How
Oh,
much
a
are you
lot.
getting?
Oh, I'm going to tell you right now a lot.
Okay.
Because I'll tell you right now, for Igor and Justin, this woman cooks. Now she doesn't want to cook, but she will cook. So the better you are, and the better you'll treat her, and like the more things you'll give her, and like the hotter you are, and like the better sex you'll give her, like the more she'll be better for you, and she'll cook for you. But one of her
Yeah, yeah,
things is
yeah,
that
yeah,
she'll
yeah.
cook.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
know.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
She also wants um to shop and have fine things, and she wants to go to spas all the time, and she needs to have like all of her beauty needs met at all times, like her lashes, her nails. She needs like the best of the makeup, she needs the best of her skincare, she needs like all of that. um
Yeah,
now
yeah,
what
yeah,
she'll
yeah.
now what she'll give you is that she'll clean, and she'll even do that thing that if you have like if you give her a beautiful home and you give her like 1,000 thread key account sheets, she will hire someone on behalf of you both to steam the sheets every day when they put them on the bed for you. What?
Yes.
Or like iron them. You'll do that thing where like you make them iron them or something.
The only problem is that I cannot give you children naturally, so we will have to do a surrogate. So you'll have to have enough money for that.
I think that we've established that it would be nice if he had money,
Yes, yes.
Okay, so here's the thing. We
Are we
are
done?
done.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank God.
I'll tell you right now that if you are single, hit us up. I will just be requiring a small finder's fee of $1 million. Also, also like a very fun Christmas Eve invitation every time to your fabulous house that you know, throws. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Thank you so much for listening. And this has been 90 Day Fiance to have and to hold. And we have had your attention and have held it in high regard and to our chests. If you have enjoyed your listen, please give us 5 stars and a kind review wherever you listen to podcasts. Other than that, we exist on all of the social medias. You can follow us at DocuSweeties on Instagram and at DocuSweeties on TikTok and at DocuSweeties1 on X/Twitter. We have a podcast Facebook group, the DocuSweeties Podcast Facebook group. And other than that, you can also see the visuals. Wow.
You could do so by joining us on Patreon at patreon.com/DocuSweeties for $10 a month. You get the visuals of what you are listening, plus extras, including a live every first Monday of the month, which is tomorrow.
And I can do it at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So that's when I can go ahead and do it. And then that's what's going to
Great.
happen.
We'll have a live
Yay.
tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time with Chris Farah. So we'll see you there. Be there or be square. And we've got some fun documentaries coming up, like Twin Flame Universe, which is on Netflix. So check that out. And we'll talk to you later. Okay.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.